Today I'm going to do place value division. I have a problem here, and the problem is Caleb went to an egg hunt. He went to 23 spots, and when he got back to count his candy, he had 378 pieces. If all spots had the same amount of candy, how many candies were in each location? So I know that Caleb had 378 candies, and I have to divide those equally, fair sharing, into 23 groups. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to arrange all of my place value positions. I know that this column here would be my hundreds. This column here would be my tens. And the last column would be my ones. So we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds. The first question I need to ask myself is, how many groups of 100 can I multiply by 23, and will that bring me close to 378? So I do a little side work off to the side, and I know that 23 times 100, I know it looks intimidating, but if you cover up the 2 zeros, it turns into 23 times 1, and we can add the zeros on later. So that would give me 23. One group of 23 is 23, and then I can add the 2 zeros on from this location. I know that I have 2,300. That is way over 378. Because it's way over, I know that I cannot put one group. I can't even put one group in my hundreds column. And because I can't even put one group of 100 in my hundreds column, I need to put a 0 in my hundreds space. Now, I'm ready to move on to the tens column. The tens column, I need to ask myself, what can I multiply? How many groups of 10 can I multiply by 23 to get close to 378? I always say to take a look at the first two numbers. The first two numbers will give you a good indication of where you need to be. So, well, 37. Let's try two groups. So off to the side again, I do some work. 23 times 2 groups, okay, would give me, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 46. Oh man, I can't do that. Can't do that at all. So I know that it has to be less than 2 groups, or 20 times 23. So I'm going to try 10 times 23. And again, I'm encouraging you to cover up that 0. So one group of 23, just one group of 23 gives me 23. And then I can add the 0 on later. 230. I know that 230 is less than 378. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one group of 10 up top, because I can put my 230 down below, making sure that I line up my ones, my tens, and my hundreds. Then I'm going to subtract 230 from 378. That leaves me with 148. 148 left, and now I need to move into my ones column. So I need to ask myself, how many times does 23 fit into 148? That's a little tricky. So I always say to work with our friendly numbers to get us close. I know that 2 groups of 23 is 46. So let's try 5 groups of 23. So 23 times 5. Let's see. And place value division is all about getting as close as you possibly can to this magic number, that magic number, okay? So 5 times 3 gives me 15, okay? And 5 times 2 gives me 10, so 10 plus 1 gives me 11. Oh, 115 is fairly close to 148, but I think I might be able to get maybe a little bit closer. So I know that 5 groups of 23 gives me 115, and 2 groups of 23 again gives me 46. Maybe if I add those together, oh, let's see over here. So 115 plus 46. Oh, that gives me 11. 5 and 1 more gives me 6. And bring down the 1. 161. Oh, that's definitely not going to work. So it's definitely not going to be 5 groups plus 2 groups to make 7 groups. So this would be 7 groups over here. So let's try 6 groups. So 23 times 6. Okay, 3 times 6 gives me 18. 6 times 2 gives me 12, plus 1 more gives me 13, 138. So I would put my 6 up top in my ones column, and then I would subtract the 138 from the 148, and that would leave me with 10. Because 23 does not fit into 10, the 10 is our remainder. We cannot get another group of 23 out of that. And we now know that our answer would be 10, a group of 10, and 6 ones. So the answer would be 16 with a remainder of 10.